Hey, welcome back to your girl's channel. Y'all, this woman and her mama done took like a cruise or something, and they are dealing with an encounter that you wouldn't believe. And I definitely don't think that I would have been mature enough to handle it the way she did. So let's get into it.
I experienced the most racist encounter of my life. Imagine a woman kicking water in your face and laughing at you with her husband. Imagine being accused of exchanging intimate favors for cruise tickets. I'm currently on a cruise with Virgin Voyages, and I just want to caveat this video by saying Virgin, absolutely incredible. Their staff, absolutely incredible. The support and understanding I got today from the Virgin staff, that's really what saved me from losing my head. So I'm on this cruise with my mum. It's her first time going on a cruise. She's super excited about it. As part of this cruise, I was given access to Rich's rooftop, and it's a part of the rooftop of the ship reserved for VIP guests. Now, typically when you're on a Virgin cruise, you're given a red wristband, but if you're VIP, you're given a black wristband. The black wristband, you get access to the rooftop, or you can also get access to the rooftop with a red wristband if you have a VIP access card. My mum and I decided we wanted a chill one, and we just wanted to lounge at the rooftop. So we go to the rooftop and we get like a little day bed. My mum takes a picture of me, and an older gentleman jumps in front of the picture, and he's being like very jovial and silly. So I think, oh, maybe he's a bit tipsy, he just wants to be in the picture, whatever. I just don't think anything of it. 5 minutes after that, I noticed him and his partner. They sat in the day bed like opposite us. She goes off to do something. He said, oh, can I ask you a question? I said, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. And he says, how did you get in here? I said, excuse me. He said, how are you in here? I said, how am I in where? He said, here. And I said, I used my card and I got in. I have a Richard's Rooftop card. So I then asked, how are you in here? He says, oh, I have a black band. I have a band. And I said, oh, okay, cool. I sit down, and a member of staff comes up to me, and he says to me, oh, I just want to let you know that one of the other people on the cruise has complained about you. And I said, complain about me? Why? And he said, oh, they said that you were taking pictures of them and you made them feel uncomfortable. And I was like, what? And then I immediately realized who it was. And then I said to the member of staff, I didn't even take his picture. My mum took a picture of me. Her back was to him, and he jumped into the picture, and he was like, don't worry, I saw everything. I saw everything. I'm just letting you know that they've complained. I was like, thank you so much for letting me know. At this point, I didn't assume there was like a big issue. So I'm like, let me not take another picture. Maybe some people just like don't like cameras around, and that was his way of being passive aggressive and saying like, oh, I don't want you to take a picture while you're up here. Cool. So I was like, let me not take any pictures. So I just sat with my mum. We were chilling. The gentleman and his partner had realized, oh, they're still here. They saw the staff member speak to me, and then the staff member like smiled, joked with me. I even got drinks, and I think they put two and two together, and they were like, we complained about them and they didn't get kicked out of this area, like what's going on? I then see the gentleman stand up and go to the bar, and something in my spirit said, Tony, go to the bar too, go and grab another drink. I wasn't even thirsty. I just wanted to go to the bar because I just felt in my spirit that he was going to complain about me again. Bear in mind, I've not done anything to this man. I'm simply existing with my mother. I also mentioned that we were the only black people in Richard's Rooftop at this time. I go to the bar. Again, the staff are being absolutely lovely. They're like, oh, hey, like, do you want something to drink? Let me sort you out, cool. And I was like ordering my drink, and then I hear him shouting, I don't care. I don't care. Get them out. I don't want them here. Get them out of here. And then the staff member who'd been so nice to me had said to this guy, like, look, I can't just, they're allowed to be here. I can't just kick them out. And he says, these are your rules. These are your rules. They don't have a black band. They shouldn't be in here. And he's like, they have a card. They can be in here. He was shouting at the staff, asking them why the hell they hadn't kicked me and my mum out, that he does not want us here. I go back to my mother, I hand her a drink, and I'm like, Mum, you know, this guy is shouting at the staff, saying that the staff should kick us out. My mom's like, what have we done? I'm like, Mummy, he's seething, absolutely seething that we have not been kicked out. I do not know how miserable a human being has to be that pressed about something. You might have seen us in the beginning with our red bands, and you took issue with that. Okay, cool, right? But the second a staff member To be fair, the second I told you we have cards, you should have just let it rest. But the second a staff member told you they are allowed to be here, they have cards, they have access to be here, that should have been it. At this point in my mind, I'm like, okay, this man and his girlfriend, whatever, clearly racist, right? I've come to this conclusion because it's the only thing that is making sense in my mind right now. My mom and I wanted to go into the hot tub, and we were like, okay, when these people leave, we'll go in. So the people leave, we're about to go in, and we see this couple go into the hot tub. And then I say to my mom, Mom, I'm gonna go in the hot tub. And she's like, really? And I say, yeah. For annoyance about my existence.
And I imagine that made him even more angry, because now you about to hop in the jacuzzi. How dare your black ass get in the jacuzzi too, where I'm soaking. If I'm being honest, when I first heard that he jumped in the picture and blah, 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 being silly and stuff, I'm thinking, well, maybe he thought she was attractive or something and, wanted to try to get their attention. Who knows? But you was trying to disrupt her peace. At what point are we going to realize that we are all humans and we all bleed red?
Is not going to change the outcome. After 5 or 10 minutes of them being in the hot tub, I get into the hot tub. I'm just there. I don't say anything. I just sit in the hot tub. I have my drink in my hand. And do you know what happens? The woman kicks water into my face. She's laid in the hot tub and she intentionally kicks her feet to splash water into my face. And at that point, I knew exactly what they were doing. They were trying to intentionally push me and antagonize me in a way that they hoped would garner a reaction from me, an outburst or a reaction that is so significant it would then justify staff kicking me out. So she splashes this water in my face, and her partner burst into laughter at this water hitting my face. And do you know what I did? I wiped my face and I just looked into the space like nothing had happened.
I need to find her level of maturity. I need to get to where she at. I need to get here, because that is so mature of her. They would have got that reaction out of my dumb ass. Oh, bitch, we splashing? Oh, okay. Let's do it. Shit. Yeah, I need to find this level of maturity, y'all. I need therapy. I need some anger management. I need a lot of stuff, because Tony, girl, you are teaching me. She's teaching me. I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm learning. I don't know if I want to be like Tony, though. Like, I love and respect how she's handling things, but girl, I don't know. That white bitch would have had all kind of water in her cup, in her eyes, in her mouth. Let's continue.
Because there was no way in hell I was going to let you get me to that point. And I had more than enough reason and right to be angry. And they realized this isn't working. So then they decide to be very passive aggressive in the way they're communicating. They're talking about how I don't belong there. And then the husband says, or I don't even think they're married. The man says, oh, honey, this is the life. And we didn't even need big fake eyelashes to be here. I turn to him and I say, do you have a problem with me being here? He says, yeah, I do. I do have an issue. You don't belong here. And I'm like, excuse me? And he said, we paid to be here. We didn't just get given it for free. We paid to be here. I don't want you here. Then the woman kind of like scoffs, and I'm like, just so confused, right? And then she turns to me, the woman turns to me and she's like, oh, we didn't have anyone to be here.
Well, what are we feeling so far, ladies? Please tell me down below what you would have done. Are you mature as Tony? I bet there's a lot of you on my channel that are the same amount of mature as Tony. I bet y'all are just as smart and mature as this woman. But for y'all of us that ain't, what we finna do? What we doing? Huh? Well, how we handling this? How we gonna get even yet still stay on the rooftop at the same time? Because if we splashing, I mean, we in a pool. We splashing. Hey, we splashing. I'm doing a smile on my face, bitch. You gonna drink this chlorine water today, okay? Just tell me, how hard is it? How complicated is it to be this mature? I need to know. Is it easy or is it hard? Did you need therapy? Did you need anger management or anything before you got to this level of maturity? Teach me. Tell me something. What I need to do. Because, child, All I see at the end of this story is jail for me. But let's continue.
The woman turns to me and she's like, oh, we didn't have anyone to be here. I don't want to say the full thing because I know how social media is before, like TikTok or wherever I post this, like locks this video down. But she basically, long story short, she implied that I swapped intimate favors for access to Richard's rooftop or access to the cruise. Like there was no way me as I assume a black woman could be on this cruise or in that area unless I had swapped intimate favors with someone at Virgin. I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep quiet because this is gonna go absolutely nowhere. Like they want a reaction out of me, and in my frustration I'm explaining things I shouldn't even have to explain. I then see from the corner of my eye a staff member walk up to my mum. I'm scared to tell my mum what happened because, you know, mothers they love us, they protect us. And I said to myself, if I go and tell my mum what happened now, this is gonna be a whole different series of events, right? I'm at the hot tub and I say to my mum, Mummy, I've got something to tell you, but you need to promise me that you won't react. Please don't react. She's like, what's up? And I'm like, Mum, just be cool. And she's like, what's up? And I tell her that the people in the hot tub, when I went in there, Mummy, they kicked water at me, laughed at me, and then they accused me of swapping fella, you know, for access to the cruise. And my mum was like, you're kidding me. I said, Mummy, I swear to you, I swear to you. Like, I was in so much shock. I wasn't on the verge of tears because I didn't want to give them satisfaction, but you know when you're like you're bubbling up inside out of emotional frustration because you can't whoop somebody and you know you want to react but you can't react, right? That was the verge of like emotion I was on. And I see my mum's face. She's like, do you want me to say something? I'm like, Mum, please, no, they want a reaction, please. I then asked my mum, like, the lady that came up to you, what did she say to you? Like the staff member. My mum said, oh, they said that we should go get black bands. And I realized in that moment that the staff member who witnessed him, this man, like jump in front of my picture, who faced the brunt of this man saying, I want them out. These are your rules, get them out. They don't have the band. I want them gone. He requested these bands for us. So I go over to him, I say, thank you so much. He's like, I've worked with people like this before. I'm so sorry. And he's like, I've organized for you to get back bands. I said, I know. And I want to say thank you.
So much respect to the cruise worker who had her and her mama's back. Much respect to you, boo, because there are a lot of people like these, like this couple in the pool. There's a lot of people like this in the world. And for you to do the right thing, I applaud you. A lot of people will choose sides. So I applaud this worker for doing the right thing.
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you so much. They can't say, this man and his partner can't say, I want them gone because they're black. And I don't want black people here. But they can say, I want them gone because they don't have black bands. Even when he said they have a card, he could be like, oh, I don't care, they don't have black bands. So Amir was like, look, the issue's your band, we'll get you a new band. Me and my mum walk downstairs to go get the bands, and again the staff was so lovely, and she gives us our black band and she says to us, to be fair, like technically we're like VIP from the beginning, you should have had this from the beginning. I was like, oh, no problem, like it's cool. And I tell her about what happened and she's really apologetic. I'm like, look, it's not your fault, because at the end of the day, like, there's only so much vetting of a person that like a company like this can do, right? And I'm even surprised this couple came on this cruise, because one thing about Virgin, they're very forward thinking, which is why I love the brand. Super embracing of people's differences, a very diverse team and staff. It's like, if you're going to be a racist on a cruise, this ain't a cruise to be a racist on. I didn't want them to have the satisfaction of assuming that we had left because of them. And my mum and I didn't even plan to be at this rooftop all day, but after that we said, we are going to stay at this rooftop because we know you don't want us at this rooftop, right? My mum says to me beforehand, she's like, Tony, you need to record this, you need to get a picture of their faces. And up until that point, like, I hadn't recorded anything because I was like in the hot tub, and I'm like not bringing my phone in the hot tub because I don't want it to fall in the water, and I didn't have any evidence of their races. And my mum's like, you need to have evidence of their faces, right? Because obviously I know what's going on, the staff know what's going on. I'm like, I need to have evidence of their faces. And where he had lied before that we were taking photos, I'm like, okay, you lied, okay, let that be your truth now, because I'm gonna take my photos. I said, Mum, come join me in the hot tub, because it was just me previously when all of this was going on. Oh my gosh, let me also reference this. They made a comment, they were talking to each other, they were being very passive aggressive, as in talking about us but to each other, right? And they made a comment about going on a tour the day prior, and how someone wanted to sit them at the back of the bus, and they said, oh, back of the bus, we don't do that here. We don't sit in the back of the bus here. And I honestly felt like that was an indirect, direct, racistic. I don't think it had anything to do with the actual bus. I don't think it had anything to do with where they were seating. They said that on purpose. When we get into the rooftop, I turn to him and I say, well, turn to him and his partner. To be fair, she said the most vile things to me, but he had the most vim. So I say, I just want to thank you so much for your racism, because it highlighted to the staff that we had the wrong band on, and so they've given us our black bands. I think at that point,
I have fallen in love with this woman because, child, you a better woman than me. She is handling this so well. Girl, you a pro. You a damn professional. Well, y'all need to get like Tony, ladies, because this is how you get even with somebody. Me trying to splash the bitch back and causing a scene and us splashing each other. No, don't be like SG. This is why I don't like being called an influencer. I ain't no influencer. Don't listen to me. Don't let me influence you, because I'm still learning and growing my damn self. Listen to Tony. Everybody go follow Tony. Shoot.
they realized like they have not won this battle. And then I said, oh, and you'll be expecting an email from Virgin. That was a little fib. I just wanted to say in the moment just to get them riled up. And the guy was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, whatever, we'll wait on our email, whatever. I think the man was like, oh crap, like we've obviously messed up. Like these people, not only are they meant to be here, but they're obviously here for a reason. And so he starts to try and make small talk, like, oh, did you go out to the, bear in mind, all this stuff has happened. You've complained about me, you've shouted stuff about me when I was just like sitting down reading a book, drinking a drink. Your partner splashed water in my face, you laughed at me, you said I was doing egregious things. Anyway, so he tries to make small talk. My mom's right next to me. I say to him, respectfully, do not talk to me. And I'm thinking, how dare you? After everything, you want to pretend like none of this happened? How freaking dare you? Anyway, another lady came into the hot tub. They're like making small talk with her, and I'm overhearing them and just making mental notes, right? And they say to the lady that their names are Chuck and Stephanie.
Hey, what are all your names? Stephanie.
The guy's Chuck, the woman's Stephanie, and they're living in Alberta. They're from Alberta. The lady Stephanie said that they were between like Alberta and Houston. I don't know if any of that is true, right? But I do know that I recorded what I could record. Anyway, in the end, they ended up leaving the hot tub, and as they leave, the man, Chuck, says, oh, good evening, ladies, and my mom and I just ignored him. I think at that point he was worried. He was trying to like rectify the situation in some way or save the situation in some way, but it was already way too late. You just kept going and going, and our sheer existence was enough for you to try and trigger me to that extent. Anyway, I say all this to say one more time, shout out to Virgin staff, because the way they dealt with that situation was great. Like, they did not back down. Immediately someone complained about me and they knew it was unwarranted, they like essentially warned me about it. And it came to like even making sure we had our bands and just like really taking care of my mum and I. They were absolutely impeccable. Like, I already loved Virgin as a brand. I love Virgin even more now for how they had our back. Like, the staff were absolutely amazing, but these two people, some of the most vile and immature human beings I have ever had the dishonor of coming across in my life. You're not going to scare me into leaving a place, nor are you going to scare me into silence either. Like, Chuck, Stephanie, if those are their real names, like, do better. Just sad that people in this world behave like this.
Child, like I say, she a better woman than me, but here's her beautiful mother, y'all.
Pretty little baby, you say that maybe you'll be thinking of me and try to love me. Pretty little baby, I'm hoping that you do. You can ask the flowers, I sit for hours telling all the bluebirds, the bill and coo birds. Pretty little baby, I'm so in love with you.
Her mama is cute as hell. That is a beautiful lady. Oh my goodness, they are some beautiful women. It looked like they had a blast, and I am so glad that the Virgin staff did take care of them the way they did. But she got a couple more things she want to say, y'all.
This will be my last video about my vacation interrupted. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has shared kind messages with me, who's checked in, who's left really kind comments. I appreciate it. I really do. It's an unfortunate incident, but Virgin have reached out to me. They sent me an email, which is really kind, really lovely, and they've offered the opportunity for a call, and I've said that I'll be happy to have a call with them. But I do want to stress again, my issue is not with Virgin. Virgin as a brand, as a team, I had a lovely experience on my cruise. Outside of this one incident, the cruise was lovely. We ran into so many wonderful people. These were just two nasty people, but we ran into so many people that were wonderful. The staff was great to us, and I understand that some of you are like, oh, we feel like they could have done more. I feel like their approach was also influenced by the way I handled it, in the sense that I just wanted to enjoy my trip with my mum. I didn't want to feel like I had to be fighting someone or looking out for someone. And I was also conscious of like, I don't know, these people, I just felt like they weren't completely, you know, in the head, and I just didn't want the aggro of being on an enclosed space with them, following things escalating, right? I just wanted peace. And ironically, even though it was an enclosed space, I actually never saw them again. I went back to the rooftop. They weren't there. I don't know, maybe they were worried about the way they handled things. As far as the way I handled things, I was very proud of myself. I felt like I stayed true to who I am. And I didn't allow them to bring me down to their level. I know some people have mentioned like, oh, we felt like you should have done more, you should have got angry, this is how people get away with it. Like, I understand that perspective, but at the same time, I just weighed up the options and weighed up the very real possibility that in me being reactive, they get exactly what they want. Some people want to trigger you. Some people want to poke you because they want you to have a reaction, because the reaction benefits them in some way, right? And I just didn't want to give them that benefit. And I also didn't want to stoop to their level and be out of character. One thing that I'm proud of on top of that is the fact that they can't say I said anything unkind to them. I wasn't unkind to them, not how they were to me. And I'm personally proud of that. I know some people are like, oh, this put me off cruises. No, please. This is my third cruise now. I've never had a bad experience. I always have a wonderful time. And anywhere you go, you could meet awful people. This was just one of those situations. It has nothing to do with Virgin. It's about these two individuals. But I also read some comments where some people were like, oh, Tony, if you knew they didn't want you there, why'd you get into the hot tub? Honestly, it was a matter of principle. I already wanted to get in the hot tub. And when I saw them go in, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow you to frighten me out of doing something that I already wanted to do. And I think the fact that they didn't want...
First of all, Tony, you ain't got to explain yourself to none of these weird ass commenters. She could do what the hell she want to do, and did, and it worked out perfectly for her. Y'all better take some notes. Her getting into that hot tub was not hurting or harming nobody. She knew that they were mean, evil people, and she wanted to see how far the mean and evilness would go. She did, and she won, if you ask me. Give a damn about nothing y'all talk about. She did everything correctly.
They didn't want me there was more reason why I wanted to go into the hot tub, just to prove the point that their feelings towards me wouldn't push me away or make me walk on eggshells in any way. And to the people of Alberta, I saw so many comments from you guys. So disappointed. Don't worry, I know that Canadians are not all like this, right? I know people from Alberta province are not all like this. You get good people and bad people everywhere, so I'm not holding it against people. I'm not holding this incident against you guys or people from Alberta in general. There's good and bad all over the world, or in every city, in every province. It's just unfortunate that my first interaction with people from obviously your province was this interaction, but I know it's not a reflection of everybody in Alberta, of course. This is the last video I'm going to make about this. I'm going to have my call with Virgin, see what they say, but again with the understanding that I know none of this has to do with them in particular. Like I said, their staff was so lovely to my mum and I. Honestly, some of the most wonderful staff that I've generally had the experience of interacting with in a hospitality setting. I'm gonna have the call anyway, but yeah, thank you to everyone for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And oh, last thing, I see some of you tagging a Chuck and Stephanie, who are a couple in Alberta that look nothing like the couple that I showed in my video. Please, let's also be mindful of not involving people or gunning for people that have absolutely nothing to do with this. Chuck and Stephanie on that ship have impacted me enough and impacted my mother enough, let alone random strangers on the internet just because they share the same name. So let's also be considerate of that, and also be like guided. Let's also be guided. But yeah, thank you guys.
Y'all, she ain't lying. Because I seen a video where there was a couple named Chuck and Stephanie, or Chuck anyways. He had made a video trying to defend himself, talking about something. That wasn't me. How dare y'all come for me? And it wasn't him. He looked like a total different man. Y'all better quit just coming for anybody just because they got the same darn name. That was not nice. Other than that, how y'all feel about this? What would you have done in this situation? Ladies, what have we learned here? Like, seriously, because I learned a lot. Maybe some of y'all already on the level of Tony. Maybe y'all already got it. Maybe y'all there. But some of us ain't. A lot of us ain't. Okay? A lot of us ain't there yet. So, what you would have did? Because when I tell you that bitch would have been drinking chlorine water, she would have been choking on that shit. But I would have told the staff I thought we was playing. I mean, she kicked some water my way. I kicked some back her way. A lot back her way. I thought we was splashing. And that's what I got on it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. Because y'all know how the hell I feel. I feel like Tony did the right thing. I feel like she handled it perfectly. And I feel like she won. But I also feel like my ass would have been going to jail. Messing with the virgin. They would have never let me back on their boat again. And shit, that's where I need to go grow at. Like the video, subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one, boo.